Your Denver Broncos just make an absolutely genius move that has gone really under the radar that none of us noticed or knew why it was happening. And boy, oh boy, am I pumped to share some of the advanced analytics and why this move is propelling the Denver Broncos deep into the playoffs next season. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan named Ben, and it helps me in the YouTube algorithm out a ton. If you like the Broncos, would you smash that like and subscribe button? So a ton has been made about the Denver Broncos implementing this new wide zone running game. We heard from several of the coaches that is why our running game didn't really get started in joint training camp practices. We're still learning a brand new system. We've heard Quinn Meinerz and Garrett Bowles and Mike McGlinchey all be excited about this new system. But what would make Sean Payton, who is a 20-year vet who's been coaching this same way for his whole career, what would make him absolutely pivot on a dime and switch from how he's coached and won Super Bowls to doing this new thing? And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh, is it because he saw something cool from J.K. Dobbins when he was with Ohio State because he was great at the wide zone there? Is it he saw something in R.J. Harvey that thinks it'll get started? He's so frustrated with how Javonte looked last year that he's just desperate to try something. And my main man, Mark, gave me a call this week, and he is just like a CSI investigator and dove into the deep analytics of why this move happened. And it has me just wildly excited about why this zone running scheme is actually developed with Bo Nix in mind and why he is going to be absolutely lethal in it. So what I have up here these are the advanced analytics for Bo Nix last season. And don't want to get too into the weeds here, but the thing I want to point out here is last year, Bo Nix took 100 snaps under center, and then he took like almost 500 under the gun. And what is absolutely wild here is that Bo Nix threw for 12 touchdowns and 2 interceptions when he was under center for 114 passer rating as a rookie. And then when he was in the gun, he still was great, an 88 passer rating, but 17 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Bo Nix definitely better under center, and that is a mind-blowing stat when you take a look at that, because of the fact that typically when you're playing under center, your advantage is like the play action pass, which we didn't have a running game and we didn't have a tight end. So just really crazy. When you compare that to some of the other top echelon quarterbacks in the league, it's not even close. So I got Joe Burrow up here. So you look at him, he's got a 93 passer rating when he's under the center, and he plays way better under the gun. You look at Patrick Mahomes, again, didn't take nearly the number of snaps under center, only 87, where Bo Nix was 100. And again, a 90 passer rating, he's better out of the gun. Even Jaden Daniels, who's got a crazy threat of running the ball, you look at him, the rookie of the year, we know who the real rookie of the year was. It was our Bo Nix. And again, under center, 106 passer rating. So Bo Nix is elite under center, which is a very, very difficult thing to master when you are a rookie quarterback. Like when you are in the gun, you see the whole field, whereas when you're under center, you're hitting your third step and firing the ball out, or you're hitting your fifth step in the dropout and firing the ball out. So Sean Payton is the master of morphing his offense to fit whatever the talent on his team is. And I think what we are going to see this year with this new zone blocking scheme is a lot more Jake Plummer-esque type bootlegs where Bo Nix is absolutely filthy at it. And it shouldn't surprise us. Like I know a lot of folks like to think that Sean Payton didn't discover Bo Nix until he saw what was in his bag at the draft combine. That's the fun story that ESPN likes to tell. But I know Sean Payton saw all of these clips from Bo Nix in college and saw he was one of the few college quarterbacks who there was a season in his career under one of his offensive coordinators where he was forced to play under center, which is why he didn't have the huge learning curve that other quarterbacks do. So here's him under center when he was at Auburn, and you see this sneaky athleticism. And Sean Payton had talked about it was Bo Nix's athleticism that was the biggest surprise of him coming to Denver. He knew he was the most accurate quarterback in college football history. He knew he only had a negative play every 89 yards, but I don't know if he knew the type of wheels and the type of athleticism that Bo Nix has. And so what you saw last season is that the more Bo Nix played under center, the better he got. And when you go back and watch all of Bo Nix's highlights from last season, I watched this 15-minute YouTube compilation of them. What you see is there are way more passes under center as the season progressed, as where he started the season, he was in the gun and only reading like half of the field. And so we just take a look here. I think this is the first one where you start to see, oh, why would you put Bo Nix under center? Oh, because he is as fast as a cornerback. Like Jordan Palmer came out and talked about when he was working with him that at the end of practice, they would do like gun, like sprint as fast as you can, kind of like suicides in basketball type thing. And that Bo Nix was chasing down cornerbacks. Dre Greenlaw said that the other day they were running at practice and he heard hoof steps behind him and Bo Nix passed Dre Greenlaw. So you see Bo Nix's athleticism out of the gun is absolutely filthy with being able to convert that. And early in the season, last season, you saw him under center with just plenty more time back here, and then using that time under center to find the hole inside of this offensive line and sneak out with his feet. So we see here in the Raiders game, he's buying time, and then he's like, oh, I can go convert this into an easy gain right here. So we see that's how he used playing out of center early in the season. But then what we see as the season progressed is that he wasn't just great out of the center of like, oh, now I can go run here. What he ended up doing as the season progressed was not just like, he could have run right there, but instead he finds Josh Reynolds in the back of the end zone. This is the play he broke his hand on. I think right before he was shot and then later cut from our team. But you just see like Bo Nix under center was lethal combination in college, and then you see it again here as a pro. So just really, really crazy there. And then an advanced analytic comes out and proves it to us again here. Football Insights just threw this out on Twitter yesterday, and they put out there the amount of time when a quarterback has over 2.5 seconds in the pocket. What percentage of the time are they sacked? And you look at NFL history, going back to 2018, they don't have stats before that, but there are only three quarterbacks in the league who are better at not getting sacked at that point, because Bo is just so absolutely lethal in that. So I think this is something to be incredibly bullish on, because now we have this new outside zone running system with a running back in J.K. Dobbins who's done it at a high level in college. And then you have R.J. Harvey, who, even though everyone says all he can do is cut it outside, we know that he actually led Power 8 teams last year in running between the tackles. And so that I think the Broncos have a secret combination here. And I think all of the people thinking Bo Nix is going to throw 50 yards from the shotgun again like he did early on last season are going to be absolutely shocked when you see Bo Nix under center a lot. And that doesn't mean we're still not going to air the ball out, but I think you were going to see Sean Payton absolutely do that. And it's just another example of how Sean Payton fits the talent on his team to whatever system he wants to run, not the other way around. And truly, that's a sign of a great leader. It's not, here's what we always do, and I'll find pieces that do that. It is, what do you do best? And I'm going to find a way to help you do that best. And we see in the stats that Bo Nix was the best quarterback under center last season, and that is a phenomenal thing. And then the other addition to this, why I think it's going to be even better, is that what we've heard, the biggest progression that we've seen in Bo Nix this season is the fact that he has the play calls down and he's not listening for him 2 or 3 times in his headset, that he hears it once and knows how to spit it back out. And it has been noticeably different in these preseason games to see the amount of time he has at the line. It's almost been like, what? This is crazy. There was last season, it was like he was getting to the line and the play clock was already at 5 seconds, because that is an overwhelming Sean Payton playbook. Now he's getting to the line with 10, 15 seconds to spare, which is going to, when he's under center, it's going to allow him to call out protections and kill runs and design all of this stuff. And you hear Quinn Meinerz yesterday in his press conference talk about how great that's going to be, not just for Bo Nix, but also for that entire offensive line to have more time.
And when it comes to game time, having those, extra 5, 6, 7 seconds is really important for us as an offense. It gives Bo time, to go through his pre-snap reads, see if there's a pressure coming, and see if we need to get into a different or better play.
So Sean Payton, absolute chameleon. He has morphed this offense to fit what Bo Nix does best. That is why the Denver Broncos are going to win the AFC West this year and make a deep, deep run in the playoffs. And Broncos country, we got a game tomorrow, and we got so much to believe in. Also, if you want to watch tomorrow, I'm going to try to live stream play-by-play and at least through the starter. So come check out the live stream tomorrow.